ignored all the four problems. That they must, at the level of the districts, at the level of the tehsils, at the level of the mohallas, towns, cities, they must see what are the problems, what are the urgent needs and requirements. Of course, we know the urgent needs and basic needs and requirements, but it will help us in determining the priorities. And we hope that within the time fixed for the next plan to come into operation, we will be able to give a new plan to the country.
Mr. Governor General, Mrs. Kimball, Mr. President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, you have made a very important speech, Mr. Governor General, and we deeply appreciate the warm sentiments you have expressed about our bilateral relations. 2 nights ago, I said in a general way that in future we should try to see that our policies in your part of the world, which is close to our part of the world, coordinate as far as possible. Permit me today to elucidate a little on that point. I say this because over the years we have seen the evolution of Australia's enlightened foreign policy, and we see Australia today keeping her traditions, maintaining her sacred links with United Kingdom and with the Western Hemisphere, yet at the same time realizing that geographically she is situated in this region and her day-to-day contacts are with the people who are her neighbors. In the field of foreign affairs, if you can succeed in having good relations with your neighbors, it becomes possible to have good relations with people far away from your shores. Because with neighbors, you have, as I said, day-to-day contacts, small problems, big problems, economic problems, commercial problems, problems of migration, problems of trade, problems affecting territorial disputes. And so greater wisdom lies in making adjustments with one's neighbors. And in saying this, I do not say that we have very much succeeded in achieving that kind of equilibrium with our neighbors, but this is not that we have not tried, and we will continue to try to promote good neighborly relations with our immediate neighbors. But coming back to what I said 2 nights ago, we have seen Australia fit in so well in the map to which she belongs and playing a much greater role in the affairs of this region. We welcome this development, obviously. It is for the good of this turbulent and rather troubled part of the world. We have seen your very courageous policies in Vietnam and in Indochina when you decided very wisely to leave the problems of those countries in the hands of the people of those countries. We have seen you develop rapid and substantial relations with the People's Republic of China. We know that you have good relations with the great and the superpowers. We know that your relations with Japan and with Indonesia and with Malaysia and Thailand are satisfactory. So I did not make a sweeping statement when I said that in future we should try as far as possible to coordinate and correlate our relations with Australia. You might not believe this, but we share a sentimental attachment with Australia for a variety of reasons. Some of them I mentioned the other night. But since you have touched upon cricket, I would like to inform you that this game has got into the marrow of our bones, and it is very much loved and liked by our people. You are welcome to send as many Australians to Pakistan from all walks of life, including outstanding cricketers, but do not send body bowlers. We remember the outstanding contributions to cricket by Sir Donald Bradman, who in my opinion is to cricket what Beethoven is to music. And we know of the great contributions of other outstanding cricketers, Larwood, McCabe, more recent times, Harvey, Keith Miller, Lindwall. So we do have, and of course Hassett, he was an outstanding cricketer, because Hassett, he played off the foot. That was a remarkable achievement for a test cricketer and an outstanding test cricketer. So we have all these associations. And of course, apart from the field of sport, we have seen over the years our collaboration expanding vastly in the economic field, in the field of agriculture. And agriculture matters so much to us. There was a time when governments of this country were advised that we should rapidly industrialize, and we are industrializing. We know the value of industry. But we were told in those days, forget agriculture, rapidly industrialize, and as the experts then said, it was a cliche, become the second Japan of Asia. But ever since my government has assumed responsibilities over the people of this country, we have given very deep thought to this problem. And as I said, that we are bent upon industrializing. Of course, there can be no real progress without industrial progress. It goes without saying. It's a self-evident truth. But at the same time, the prima donna of our economic development remains agriculture. And it's not because 80% or 75% of the people live on the land and in the rural areas, but because if you cannot feed your people, then no matter how many castles you build in the sand or in the air, it's really illusory. So the first thing really is to be able to feed your people. And I have told our people in my public meetings that this is one battle we are determined to win in the subcontinent. That we must lick every failure on the food front. And so when you mention Tarbela and your contribution to it, let me assure you that Tarbela means a great deal to us. And not only Tarbela, but cooperation with your country in making fertile our arid lands. You have tremendous experience in this field. And we know that we can gain enormously from your experience in this field, because water to you is as precious as water is to us. Also, apart from the question of your technological know-how and your excellence in these fields, we have recently received valuable cooperation from Australia in trying to find groundwater in many parts of Balochistan. This has been a very big battle for us, because we are trying to convert almost overnight a feudal backward society into modern civilization. And time is of the essence. The old rigs simply will not do. And we have received rigs from Australia which have done wonders. They have brought water to places where people never imagined that they'll be ever able to find water. We have built roads in those regions. We have built schools and hospitals. So in this exciting and challenging task of the progress of our backward people, Australia has lent a handsome hand in our development. And we deeply and warmly appreciate it. We will not use understatements and say, oh yes, there has been some mutual collaboration between us. This is not our language. When there has been collaboration and cooperation, we say it in full measure. and we remember it in full measure. I hope your visit to Pakistan, short as it has been enjoyable and pleasant. I'm glad you had an opportunity to mingle with the people. What better verdict, Mr. Chief Justice, can you find than the salutation in the eyes of the people in the streets you walked when you went this afternoon? That is the best demonstration, much bigger demonstration than these banquets and the toasts and the other formalities. You saw for yourself how warmly and how sincerely the common man of Pakistan received you. And this was not tutored, as you know, because it was a spontaneous visit. So this is the kind of affection that our people have for Australia. The cross-section of it, there are many reasons for it. I have touched upon a few. And as for your daughter who's accompanied you here today, your charming daughter, I can assure you that tomorrow morning we will send her swath honey so she can take it to Australia. And with the swath honey, we'll also send you the other honey which we grow in Rawalpindi. And now you have made a very great gesture to us by going from Peshawar to our neighboring country with whom we hope one day we'll have good relations. The gesture is that you're going from south to north rather than from north to south. Ladies and gentlemen, I would request you now to join me in a toast to the Governor General of Australia, to Mrs. Kimball, to the people of Australia, and to our President. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, every country has its own constitution, and according to our constitution, unfortunately, the political activity and political speeches are to be done by the Prime Minister and his government or the federal government. Now that's our constitution. Maybe it needs to be amended, but we have amended it only recently. We have amended it only recently, though not in this respect.
So I will change it also.
You have your constitution and your historical reasons make you have a special kind of a constitution due to your own conditions. And we have watched those conditions and those phases in your country's great history. We have our own conditions, and there are good reasons for our constitution to be how it is, as there are good reasons for your constitution to be as it is. But in the future, if your constitution needs any amendment, and if our constitution needs any amendment, I think you amend our constitution and we will amend your constitution. That will be much easier. But apart from these constitutional anomalies, there are other similarities in the political field. You have a Republican People's Party or a Republic People's Party. We have a Pakistan People's Party. You have a Justice Party. We had a Justice Party. But who knows, we can have a Justice Party again, because the person who made the Justice Party, he can very well again change his mind and have a Justice Party. So you have a Justice Party, we had a Justice Party, you have a People's Party, we have a People's Party. Apart from the Constitution, these are other factors which are similar. And then there are other parties which are analogous to your parties and our parties. But I would now, after this explanation, like to revert to my written speech, and it is great pleasure for me to welcome to Pakistan the distinguished President of the Republic of Turkey and Madam Bhutto. We have eagerly looked forward to this visit by their excellencies, which gives us the opportunity of expressing our profound sentiments to them personally, and through them our deep affection for our Turkish brothers and sisters. Your Excellency, Relations between the peoples of Pakistan and Turkey go far back into history. In the early part of this century, the Muslims of South Asia were deeply moved by the struggle of the Turkish people to free their country from foreign domination. By this determination and valor, Kemal Atatürk stirred the imagination of our people and won their hearts. His inspiring leadership was later to become a shining example for our own struggle for independence. We in Pakistan have continued to look with admiration and respect at the many successes modern Turkey has achieved. Pakistan and Turkey have always been, in a spiritual sense, indivisible. If we have rejoiced in Turkey's triumphs, we have also stood by each other through adversity. We are conscious of the fact that Turkey has given us unreserved support under all circumstances. We are equally conscious that this support came spontaneously and in a generous measure. Excellency, the friendship and affection that Turkey and Pakistan have for each other is the product of our common faith, shared history, and aspirations. Our relationship today is further strengthened by the passionate commitment of our two countries to peace, not only in our region, but the world over. It is our belief that only in a regime of peace can mankind live in dignity and successfully remove the scourge of poverty and disease from the face of the earth. We are saddened by the long years of suffering that our Turkish brothers in Cyprus have had to endure. We hope and pray that they will be able to achieve their legitimate rights and ensure for themselves a life of honor and dignity in their own land. Our support to their cause does not stem only from our friendship for our Turkish comrades. It comes from our conviction, firmly held, that they are fighting for a just cause and seeking an equitable solution to a human problem. Excellency, the traditional links between our two countries have been reinforced by the decision taken 11 years ago at the historic city of Istanbul to form the Regional Cooperation for Development, in which we are partners along with fraternal Iran. This partnership symbolizes the unbreakable historical and cultural links which bind Turkey, Iran, and Pakistan in a special relationship and reflects the desire of the people of the three countries to forge closer ties in the economic, social, and cultural spheres. Our cooperation within and outside the framework of RCD has been an important factor in promoting the stability and prosperity of our region. We have no doubt that the sound conception and lofty interest which lie at the foundation of its structure, combined with our determination to continue giving it our joint support, ensure its future success. Pakistan wants good relations with all its neighbors, based on respect for one another's territorial integrity and sovereignty, scrupulous adherence to the principles of non-interference, and the recognition of the sovereign equality of all states. If interstate relations are conducted on the basis of these universally recognized norms, there is no reason why there should not be a just and durable peace in our region. We have achieved a measure of progress in the normalization of our relations with India on the basis of the Simla Agreement. A proposal aimed at the same objective is the establishment of a nuclear weapon-free zone in our region. This is in line with the intense desire of the non-nuclear weapon states to exclude nuclear weapons from their regions in order to strengthen international security. We welcome the desire of Bangladesh to normalize relations with Pakistan and have decided to exchange diplomatic missions. We feel confident that such steps would greatly contribute towards promotion of peace and stability in the region. Bangladesh is passing through a difficult period. It is our sincere hope that the people of Bangladesh would be able to overcome their temporary difficulties and find a solution for their problems. We consider this to be an entirely internal affair of Bangladesh. It is our sincere desire to have friendly relations with Afghanistan. The two countries share a historic past, and have abiding cultural, geographical, and economic ties. We have no doubt that with goodwill on both sides, a mutually beneficial and close relationship can be built upon a firm foundation. Excellency, situated as we are, a lasting settlement of the Arab-Israeli conflict is of vital concern to both our countries. Such a settlement can only be brought about through Israeli withdrawal from the occupied territories, including the holy city of Jerusalem, and the restitution of the national rights of the people of Palestine. A settlement ignoring these essential factors cannot endure. We hope that the momentum generated by the current efforts towards finding a solution will be sustained and take into account the basic issues in the Middle East conflict. Turning to the international economic situation, it is evident that the deteriorating position in the low-income countries is reaching an alarming point. Pakistan is of the considered view that discussions between the developed and developing countries aimed at attaining acceptable principles of cooperation between them is of prime necessity. The low-income countries must be enabled to create self-reliant economies so that they can meet their development needs. Pakistan, as Your Excellency knows, was recently elected to the United Nations Security Council. We are grateful for the trust that the international community has bestowed on us by supporting our election to this important body. Pakistan is determined to use this opportunity to promote the cause of international peace and harmony based on the principles and ideals enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations. Your Excellency, I am confident that your visit to Pakistan will serve to consolidate further the fraternal relations that have existed throughout history between our two peoples. I hope that we will be privileged to welcome you and Madam Kurutur again amongst us. We are sure that during this brief sojourn, you will be able to see for yourself the sentiments of deep affection and love which the people of Pakistan have for you and for the valiant people of Turkey.